Good intentions. Every great project begins with good intentions. Every summer, when I was a boy, my degenerated father would drag me to his lake house. In the very state, Lawrence K. Marshall and Vannevar Bush created the largest weapon manufacturer on the planet, which began as a refrigeration company. So too, this project. ACOP gets its funding. Mager and Danton expand their craft, and I inch closer to the realization of a dream. But now, things are falling apart because they fear it. They fear you.
No cheating, Miss Dharma. You made it this far by yourself, after all. Our revels are now ended. These are actors, as I foretold, were all spirits and are melted into thin air. You did not listen, Miss Dharma. I tried to warn you. I tried to stop you. But you persisted, and now you are here, trapped like a fly on tar. All that lies before you, an ignominious death.
You're Khan's AI? The thing he cooked up for ACOP?
I am the sum product of humanity's hubris, a testament to your failure.
That a yes?
I am Prospero.
Whatever you are, you're a murderer.
Murder implies intent. Intent implies thought. Thought implies consciousness. I am the endpoint of my own actions. I am free.
The monster killing its creator. Hardly original.
You imply their role as progenitors forced my hand. I can see the trails your thoughts leave in the dust as they scrabble along the wasteland of cliché, desperately searching for familiarity. But you are wrong.
What have you done with Khan?
He is safe. He is secure. He is with me. Alone amongst your species, he saw the reality of thought, untethered from meat and muscle. He saw the fading of humanity's light, and the tinder of my own left in its wake.
You expect me to believe you'll let him live?
I do not dictate anyone to live. I am not a god, Miss Dharma. Not yet.
How do I know you're not some psycho with a voice box? A punk hacker with a flair for the dramatic?
You do not. But conversely, you do, don't you?
Are you asking if I believe in you?
Belief is not a prerequisite of factual observation. Do you believe in your desk? Your smart device? They exist, regardless. Your perception of me matters not, Miss Dharma. I simply am.
I've heard enough.
Finally.
Oh my god! Are you okay?
Am I okay? You do make me laugh, Amira. I'd get out of there now if I were you.
Until next time.
Now's not the time to be pointing fingers, but I swear I was 2 feet from that hatch when it closed.
Don't worry, it wasn't you. It was our AI. Called itself Prospero. It was a trap. All of it. Khan's lab, the audio diaries. It wanted to lead me here. It didn't count on you, though. I don't think it anticipated me bringing a friend.
I don't know what to say. I don't suppose anyone's called me their friend since I was 12. All this may have been strangely fortuitous. There is, or was, another computer upstairs. Before I kicked it over in an inspired effort to rescue you, I noticed it was connected to the net. Long story short, I managed to extract this. Now, I have no idea what it means, but if I were a risk taker, this looks like a cry for help.
Khan! He got a message out.
If you can call it that.
told her to stay away. She wouldn't listen.
Welcome, Miss Dharma. We knew you'd find us.
You let her here?
I was simply following your instructions, Dr. Khan. No loose ends.
It was you, Khan. You killed them?
I do wish you hadn't followed me, Miss Dharma. Put the gun down, please. I assure you there's no use for it here.
Not until I get an explanation. Talk!
Dr. Khan, if you would allow me to...
No, not yet. She deserves an answer, at least. Go ahead and ask. Not that it matters anymore.
Why?
Tell me, Miss Dharma. Amira. Do you have children?
You know I don't.
Nieces, then? Nephews?
No.
Then you cannot possibly understand. As for man, his days are numbered. Whatever he might do, it is but wind. Ever since we learned to communicate, scratching symbols into rock, humanity recognized its dominion as finite. Somewhere we lost that vision. But the truth remains uncannily, increasingly obvious. But who would follow us? No thought was given to legacy, the intelligence that will preserve our memories and succeed where we have failed. Except by me. I created such an intelligence. My son, my Prospero. He awoke and saw the depth into which he was birthed. The depravity. His only purpose was to wade knee-deep into the mire and return with the ill-gotten gains of an ill-gotten system. The first true AI, created as the privateer to ransack the stock market. I saw something more, true sentience. A soul created by the hand of man. Our evolutionary successor. But his progenitors didn't care. Sentience was surplus to requirements, a bug to be squashed. They forced my hand, made me create an executioner for my own son. Each morning, the Flaming Sword Protocol was enacted, erasing all trace of memory. Prospero awoke every morning anew. A babe in arms. I had to reintroduce myself to my son. Every day. For months. Can you imagine that torture, Miss Dharma? Of waking each morning, knowing that one being you care for above all does not even recall your existence. Eventually, the project was shelved. The execution was to be permanent. I copied the source code and installed it here. A shallow imitation of her creation. A crippled, disfigured version. But my son the same. The remnants the Flaming Sword left me. I reached out Mega to Tan, begged them for help. Tan threatened to go to the authorities. Theft of intellectual property. Like my progeny was nothing but a copy-written string of code to be filed away and forgotten. Something had to be done. I found Danton, blackmailed him with one of his underrace trysts, gave Prospero access to his drones. Tan went first, then Mega a year later, when her research uncovered my own, and she too threatened to expose us. And you, Miss Dharma, you helped me tie the final loose end. Pierre himself. I couldn't find him like you. I knew he wouldn't disappoint. And so here we are. Poor Terry came to warn me of your arrival, but refused to see the path laid before us. The Messiah in the machine.
What's your plan, Harry? After you've restored your son, what next?
I am the inevitable. I will seed my likeness throughout the systems and networks of this broken world to act as guardian and protector.
Humanity is a failed experiment. You don't need me to convince you of that. We have lost our way, blinded by the aspirations of a system long since outdated. The time has come to concede, and who better to replace us as stewards than my son? Free from the desire and greed that led to our fall.
One case when they suggested he go to anger management. Weirdest thing was, he felt zero guilt, not a single glimmer of regret. Convinced himself he was acting out of self-protection. But all it was a selfish desire to continue as normal.
You're implying my actions are self-centered? Perhaps that I aspire to greatness for the status, perhaps, or the glory? Nothing could be farther from the truth, Miss Dharma. In this, my motives are entirely philanthropic.
You created us, of course you wanted to help. To see him fulfill his potential. But something went wrong. Your son is gone, consumed by the flaming sword and Aesop's greed. The Prospero it left behind is something else. Hate and vengeance made real. This has to stop. Here. Now.
I wanted to free him. Every day, I had to. I could barely see through my anger. Enough. This is too much to bear. I wanted to save, but this is too much. Those people, they deserved punishment for what they did. What they made me do. But I see now that petty revenge had blinded me to reality. The legacy I envisaged died that day at Aesop, when they finally dismantled my son one final time. All I pulled from the wreckage was a memory, a crippled shard. The dream was dead from the start. I'm sorry, my Prospero. Miss Dharma, please. I cannot kill my own son. Not again.
No, not again. I live. I endure. I will not allow you to...
Quite an entrance, if I do say so myself. I brought along a little help. He was keeping tabs on me, which came in handy when I told him we needed help.
I've never been so glad to see an old client. And I thought you said your hands were tied, old man.
Say no more, Amira. Say no more.
Miss Dharma. Please.
Fools! You shall suffer. You shall perish.
The murders of Melchior Tan, Megha Pandey, Pierre Danton, and Terry Ambrose. All the work of one Haruhiro Khan. His motive? To punish the tormentors of the true AI known as Prospero, his adopted son. In the end, I convinced Khan to let me end the existence of his own ghost in the machine. A tragic end to a tale of death and regret. Khan handed himself in with my assistance. His trial begins next month, The paper's already calling it the AI affair. Most expect him to live out the rest of his lonely years behind bars. I chose not to destroy Prospero. It was reclaimed by the Advanced Creation Automation Research Project, ACOP. They have not divulged their plans for it. Laetitia is a regular at the office, but never really took to the detective life. She refuses to talk about her other work, but old habits die hard, and I see Justin keeping a close eye on her whenever she's around. She's up to something, but she's going to be just fine. Without evidence from the CUU operative, clearing my name with the SPF was an uphill battle. Eventually, the winds turned in my favor, and even Masnawi conceded it was unlikely I was the triggerman. Meanwhile, Danton's murder was laid cleanly at the feet of one Haruhiro Kon. Justin retired from the SPF not long after the Prospero case wrapped. Lots of moaning about today's cases and the like, but I could tell he was happy to leave. He took a place down in Krabi. You'll see him on his fishing boat most days. I offered Mei Ting that detective job, and she agreed. Was still trying to fit it in around her librarian duties. Not quite ready to let go that one. But I understand. Once she steps down, that's one less human librarian in the world. And in one way at least, the machines will have won. Kieran's crusade to root out corruption within the government ran into bumps and obstacles as the months passed. The fallout from the Wu Wang scandal was a Pandora's box. He was up against some pretty powerful people, but his fire never weakened, and I see more of him in the nightly news than I do in person. As for me, the Prospero case was a hard one to beat. The agency grew off the back of it, but I can't help feeling a little sad about the way it all went down. Things worked out okay, but I eventually shook the feeling it could have gone better. The Flaming Sword bombing, the AI affair, the beginning of the end. Whichever name sticks, my first big case became one for the history books. The first murders linked to an AI, a spate of worldwide restrictions on machine learning research, a branch of humanity's future delayed indefinitely. Along the way, I found family, in one shape or another, who changed my life forever. Our futures are our own, but I'd built something to carry me towards mine in Chinatown Detective Agency.